enemy. But who's your enemy? So we are boiling with anger in our country. And I'm not here to make political statements. I'm here to just talk about you. This podcast is designed to help you be you, especially those of us that have ADHD like me. So who's your enemy? The temperature of our land just seems to peak. You look at one set of news, you get one thing, another set, another way. We don't know. Are we masked people? Are we not masked people? But you can't have dialogue when anger or frustration is the predominant mood. There's just no way to have dialogue. In a marriage, in a business, in a friendship, in any of those, in the political realm, you have to be able to reach across the aisle. Ronald Reagan, and when he was president, his nemesis, if you want to call him that, was Tip O'Neill. Now, Tip O'Neill would say the same thing. His nemesis was Ronald Reagan. They were polar opposites. But yet the two of them, if you go Google it, you'll find out they spent a significant number, like in the high 30s and 40s, where they did dinners together. They talked about how they joked about their differences, and Ronald Reagan would pick on Tip O'Neill and vice versa. But that made a magic combination when you get opposite sides. If you only hang out with your own kind, you're not going to be balanced. Watching a documentary the other day, and it was about an older couple that had been in Hollywood as in production team and things like that. They'd been married 60 years. And the wife said this. She says, even when we fight, there is no enemy between us. I love that line. Think of it. When we fight, there's no enemy between us. Right now, you can Google it. You can go on your Facebook and you'll see all these people yelling, got the veins out in their neck. That's not necessary. It's not going to work for us. And I even remember Ruth Bader Ginsburg, an amazing woman who was on the Supreme Court, as you all know, and Justice Scalia spent a lot of time together with their families, and they did holidays together. They were polar opposites, but they learned how to get along. You'll find a great friend if you learn how to reach across the aisle. Once you become fearless, life becomes limitless. Once you have the strength to share in love with somebody else from the other aisle, because let's be honest, we all just kind of want to hang out with our own kind, like that right back there. You just want to hang around with your own kind of people. But really, we build deep, rich relationships when we enter into marriages that have challenges and enter into business relationships and employees that have different viewpoints. Rarely anything positive is ever built from fear. So I'm encouraging you to get over your fear. Don't turn it into anger, but get over your fear, because there is no enemy. There's no enemy. We can disagree, but we all still value the other person. Here's what Sonny and I say in our marriage. We live in conflict, but not in opposition to each other. Does that make sense? So we have conflict in our marriage. Guess what? We do. Most of the time, she's wrong, but that'll be our secret. But when you have that in your relationships, living in conflict but not in opposition, like Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Ronald Reagan, both two great examples in our country who changed the course of the free world. They reached across the proverbial aisle and they found a friend. Same thing that can happen to us. So I'm going to ask you today, where's your olive branch? Where's your olive branch? I'm a mass person. I'm not a mass person. The mass people are wrong. The non-mass people are wrong. Forget it. Forget about the mask. It's about us having love for one another and reaching across that aisle. We have a responsibility to change our corner of the world. And it starts with us. It starts with us and not saying, yeah, but they're really, really wrong. No. Doesn't matter. We can reach the other person in love. So people who give respect ultimately attract respect. People who give hate, you're going to get hate back. So if we don't want to be hated, let's reach them with respect and reach our corner of the world and make a difference. Sometimes the person who is yelling the loudest has the most fear. That's what I've discovered when we did seminars and we did concerts around the world. People who yelled the loudest, if you smiled at them and talked to them, went down and shook their hand, man, they became friends pretty stinking quick, especially in prisons. Worked really well in prisons. So be the friend. Your ex is not your enemy. Let me just help you with that. Whoever your ex is not your enemy. Who do you think your enemy is? I'm betting it's not who you think it is. And sometimes it's like the old saying, we have met the enemy and they are us. It depends upon what side you're on. So tonight, that's your question for you. Who's your enemy? So think about it. Come join us again, jimpeters.org. I'm my own company now, apparently. I'm trying to get my name permanently changed to jimpeters.org. But so these podcasts, we'll put them up. They're up on YouTube as you found it. We're on a bunch of social media things as well. But come and listen to us and let's have some fun together and let's change the world.